What's up, everybody? This is Nick from Dude That's Sick, and today we're on episode 2 of the maple syrup series.
Nice.
Today we're collecting and boiling maple syrup. All right, here we go. We're collecting sap from the buckets. Hardly anything in that one, but that's all right. We'll get as much sap as possible.
Almost half full, 1/4 of the way. Ooh. Almost to 5 gallons out of those two. Sweet.
Let's enjoy life, shall we? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
So we got the 275 gallon water drum here, and it's, what do you say, there's about probably 100 and...
That's the 150 line right there. That's 175. We're in between them. So I'd say we got 155, 160 gallons of it.
Gotcha.
160 gallons, people. We'll pump it into the tank outside of the sugar shack. Now what, Uncle Joe?
Well, once we get some sap collected in here, then we're going to run it through the reverse osmosis. We'll hook the pump up to here, to this line, and open up this valve. And then I'm going to have a container sitting on the floor right there, and the sap will pump into that container. Then this line will go into the container of sap, and then we'll plug in the pump, and it'll pump the sap through this series of filters, and then it'll come out these two hoses. And what comes out the blue hose will be water, and then what comes out the white hose will be the concentrate. And then I have a bleeder valve. What you do is you adjust the bleeder valve so that the volume of sap coming out each line is about the same. So what you're doing is you're reducing the amount of sap that you have to boil by 50%, so it's going to save you a lot of boiling time. The water will go through the filter easy, but the concentrate with the sap, with all the minerals and everything, won't go through the filter.
Gotcha. Nice.
So what you end up doing is, you don't get all the water out, but you get a lot of it. So then what we do, that hose will save a couple of 5-gallon buckets of water to rinse the filters out when we're done. Then this line can either go up into this barrel to fill this barrel up, and then I have a line coming out of this barrel that I can open up the valve, and that goes right in to my warming pan. And then from the warming pan, you can crack open this valve, and it'll come out here, and you set it so that it trickles out here about the same rate that it's coming in here, which hopefully will be about the same rate that's evaporating. The other thing I can do is I can run this right directly into the pan to fill the pan up, I'm going to put about 2 inches or so of sap in the pan, and then I can put some in here. And then once we get the fire going good and it starts boiling and evaporating, then we can open up this valve. We can have this running into here and open up the valve and to replenish it.
I can't wait to see this bad boy in action. Now smell that heavenly goodness. Now that's what I'm talking about.
One eternity later.
When do you know when the batch is done?
Well, I boil it down until I'm pretty much out of sap, but I don't boil more than 2 days. So we boiled yesterday, all the sap we collected, and then we collected sap again today, and we're boiling that down. And when I get down to 2 inches in the pan, that's almost 11 gallons. And I know based on how much sap I collected that it's going to need to be boiled down more than that. So what we'll do is we'll finish drawing off our concentrated sap out of that blue drum until that's all gone. And then I'll let the fire die down. And after the fire goes out and it cools off, I will draw this off. And then tomorrow we'll finish it on propane. And then we have to heat it up until it gets to about 219 degrees. And then we'll check it with a hydrometer cup, with a glass hydrometer, to make sure that it's syrup. When it reaches 66 bricks, which is what it's supposed to be maple syrup, then there's a line on the hydrometer that tells you when you're at that point. When you put the hydrometer in the cup, it'll float up to the red line.
Right, I've seen that
at a certain
before.
temperature, yeah. So then we'll know that it's syrup. But it won't be syrup when it comes off from here.
No. Well, we'll be back tomorrow to finish it, y'all. We're finishing the step today of the finishing boiling of the maple syrup. So, Uncle Joe, what do we have to do?
Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to heat this up and boil it down until it gets to about 219 degrees. When it gets to about 218 or so, I'll check it with the hydrometer cup. I have a hydrometer that goes into a hydrometer cup that you put the hot syrup in, and you get the syrup to 211 degrees, and then you check, and when the hydrometer floats at the red line on the hydrometer cup, then you know it's syrup. So you just have to keep checking it, and then it'll be done. So we have other sap here that we're going to be adding to this as that boils down. So it's going to take a little while to finish it here. We can't finish it right on the evaporator because by the time it gets to where it's syrup, it would be too low in the pan and it would burn.
it's up to the 220 temperature. Let's see if it's ready. See if the hydrometer is reading right.
Okay. Right on the red line. Bingo, we're done.
Official! We had made maple syrup, people. We're gonna let this baby cool down, and then we're gonna come back the other day and bottle her up, and then we're gonna test her out. Stay tuned for that video.